Move. Daisy, go to your room.
Hey guys.
Hey y'all. We late, but we here. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. Let me pull up Anchor. I haven't posted the last week's episode, so if y'all been looking for that on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please forgive me. Has been a busy week, but I promise that I will have it posted soon this week. If not today, tomorrow for sure. I promise.
Definitely.
So, anyways, hey y'all, and welcome to Girl Talk. Let's Talk, Season 2, second episode. And today we are talking about love to infinity and beyond.
Yes, to infinity and beyond.
But in reference to Valentine's Day, which was Tuesday, we're going to be talking about love. And, we got our little pink on. Yes. Sorry, y'all. We were supposed to be on at 3. Please forgive us. We gonna get better. I promise. The season is not starting off like we want it to, but we gonna get better. We got life. Bear with us, please.
Yes, but we're not gonna use that as an excuse. We're gonna get better. We're gonna
do better.
Our main thing I think right now is we got some scheduling conflict, but after we're gonna try to figure everything out as far as scheduling and it's gonna by next week we're gonna make a promise. We're not even gonna say we'll think we're gonna have a better schedule by next week and let you guys know.
Right. What I really want to do is I want to get it set back to our Thursdays because our Thursdays work perfect for everyone. Yes. So I want to get it set back to our Thursday. So I'm gonna have to tweak my schedule just a little, which is fine. I can try to see if I can finesse it to get my schedule tweaked, just so we can get back in there on Thursdays because I feel like consistency is the key. Definitely. And when we have a consistent day, then we can continue to build our platform how we want it and continue to bring y'all great content. And I know y'all don't want to miss it. So, you don't
want to see this beautiful girl every Thursday. And then, it's unfair to us to, kind of switch things and days. I know how I am. I love TV. And I'm the type of person, like, I know Abbott is coming on every Wednesday. Or Real Housewives of Potomac, they're coming on every Sunday. So I would be mad if I'm like, why they didn't come on? So we want to give y'all that same kind of thing.
Right. So I do apologize. We do apologize. We are going to get better. Thank you for everyone who does follow us and who keeps up with us. And we see you on every live. We see you, your comments and all that. So we just want to say thank you. And continue to follow us. I promise you, we're going to get this thing right.
We are. So I guess I'll start off this podcast with I love you, Bree.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We decided we wanted to do. Hopefully everybody has a good Valentine's Day. Me and Bree spent Valentine's Day together at work. But it was a good Valentine's Day. I felt so much love for me personally, for my family. Like my mom actually came into my job on last Sunday and started my Valentine's Day week early and gave me my present. And my brothers took me out to dinner. And I didn't have a Valentine per se, but my family just showed me so much love.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I love them. How was yours?
Well, so for my Valentine, I worked my full-time job. Then I got off my full-time job and then I went to my part-time job and I worked there. We did a speed dating event for the first time and it was an awesome turnout. It had a great outcome. And I met some new people at the bar. We laughed, we danced, we had a good time. We sang, like it was a good Valentine for me. I didn't have a Valentine, and that's fine. I don't care about having one or not, but I didn't have a Valentine. I didn't get any special gifts, but that's okay because I did get myself something.
Period.
So, what's better than getting a gift and getting yourself some diamonds? So
Ooh, we got diamonds.
I did. I brought myself some diamonds. See, I don't
Ooh,
know
bling,
man
bling.
about
Yeah, I know that's right.
I
I
got
love
it.
it.
I got it in the bag.
Oh yeah, I love it. I just bought myself makeup, like some makeup stuff. I had needed to re up on a lot of my stuff. I went to Sephora. I was like, silly with the love.
So I bought myself this little diamond necklace. It's like a heart pendant,
Oh,
and when it
okay.
opens up, it has a picture of my grandmother in it. So
I love
yeah,
that because her 1 year was like like 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
I love that.
Like this weekend would have been the weekend we did her funeral on the 15th.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really sweet. I love that.
Okay.
Oh, the best gift from the heart. You know what you like, so you don't have to worry about somebody giving you something that you don't like.
Absolutely. And I was looking at that tote bag that Marc Jacobs just put out, that pink, that cotton candy pink one.
I've seen it. It's so pretty. Did you see the Brahmin pink purse that they did? I don't know if it's a Valentine's Day edition or what, but it's like a bubblegum pink Brahmin purse. It's so pretty. I'm like trying to chill out on purses.
Yeah, I might have to put an order in for that one. Put the order in for real.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so our topic, love to infinity and beyond. And I put past, present, and future on the flyer because I think love is a living thing, obviously, and it just changes. So like when I remember, like when we were like in high school or middle school, we were like, I love him. And then now you're like, girl, you didn't love that man.
You didn't even know what love was.
And it's like present. So like, I think the evolution of love. So for me, like in the past, I look at my love and I felt like love was having someone that needed me. So I always look to love in a sense of like someone that didn't have something financial or wasn't like whole. And so I felt like, if they need me, then they'll love me. If they need me, then that's how I know that I love them because of that thing. And that is a bad recipe.
It is. That's a recipe for disaster. Only because like, of course, in a relationship, you want to need each other, or not just like a sexual relationship or a romantic relationship, but like a friendship relationship, a work relationship, siblings, families, cousins, whatever, you never want the other person to need you more than you need them.
That's true.
And you never want to need someone more than they need you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be like an equal thing. So, excuse me. So if you feeling like, oh, well, if this person needs me, then they love me, then that's not the right type of love you want, because you don't want a love that, oh, well, when I need you, I love you, but when I don't need you, it's like, who's you?
Yeah.
We don't want that.
We kicking them out. Yeah. So how would you say as far as like past, like your past relationships, friendships, how would you define what love was for you?
I too suffer with the same problem you talked about, especially like the I want to say, I guess I'd say second, because the very first guy that I dated was my senior year in high school, second semester senior year.
Okay.
He had already graduated. He was like 23, I was 18. Okay. And we met because we went to the same church. Nice. When I tell you, stand-up gentleman, like, he had a job, he worked hard, he helped take care of, like, his dad's a firefighter, his mother, she worked at the library, and she was a real sweet lady. His family was very sweet. His sisters, I love them. They all love me, He was a real stand-up guy, like a real stand-up gentleman. Like, I never had to ask for anything because he was always providing. He was a true provider. Okay. And like in high school, like, everybody thought like, oh, y'all gonna get married, because he was just that great of a guy. But then I let people get in my head, and I truly did love him. It wasn't because he needed something from me or I needed something from him. It was just like we just really clicked well together, and we kind of like matched each other. I worked, he worked. He was in school. Of course, I was still in high school, but I've always been a worker. So and we used to find time, even though we was both busy. We found time for each other. Um, excuse me, y'all. I got in college and I started listening to these ratchet college folks. And it's like, oh, you're not supposed to have a boyfriend in college. You're supposed to be living your best life.
Yes.
Sorry, I feel like I had coffee.
No, you're fine.
But so I started listening to them, and like one day he would, because he used to pick me up from school, like on the days that he didn't have to work or he got off work early or was going in later, he'll pick me up from the college and he'll drop me off at home and stuff. So one day he picked me up, he took me home, and when we got to my house, I broke up with him. And he was like, and I had never broke up with anyone before.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, it's not you, it's me. I used that typical line because it wasn't him. He was a great guy, and I broke up with him, and I never seen a guy cry before. And when he cried, it really broke my heart because I was like, dang, like I really felt that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I really did love you. And then I was like, I did too, but listening to everybody else
outside, yeah.
So I could say that was one real love that I had. And then like after him, I dated a guy for like 7 years. And I won't say that he didn't love me, but the love wasn't like, it wasn't a pure love,
Yeah.
That's how I feel. It wasn't pure love. We had our differences for sure, like, and it was like, I was like you were in that sense, like if he need me, he would love me,
Yeah.
So when he needed me, things was good, but when he didn't need me, things was rocky. And it was just like I would find ways to make sure that he needed me so that things would be good, but then I didn't realize how toxic that was.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I can see that. I feel like everybody dealt with that. I think peer pressure, no matter what, is a big thing that come in relationships, friends, like outside, not even peer pressure, just outside voices. We hear so much about family being in some people's business, friends being in business, and I kind of had the same thing. I had this guy. He was a really good guy. Started dating. I was actually in college. I was in my third. I was a junior when we started dating. Great, because I was always in relationships in college. So my first freshman, sophomore year, I was in a relationship, broke up. Literally junior year, got back into a relationship. So I was never really single in college. So my senior year in college, like I just had my friends kind of on the same thing, like you need to be happy. Or it wasn't like that because I was out of state. I was in Charlotte and he was in Greenville here. And I felt like it was hard for me to split my time because I was, I was working and then I wanted to go out with my friends and I would spend time with him. So I would try to like offset weekends and this and that. So then the pressure, they're like, no, you just need to break up. And I was kind of like the same thing and I did it. And it was just like that. So I think, and those outside pressures and people in your ear. That's why like people always say like keep your relationship and don't be telling your family. Because like my sister, I'm like one of those people, if you tell me like you had a boyfriend, like oh he did something, I'm gonna be pissed. But unless he does something like physically, like if I see him and y'all back together, I'm just like girl, okay. But my sister, if I tell her, oh, she done with you. Like she sounds like you don't want to keep having those outside people in your relationship. So that's one of those things.
And that's something I had learned too. Like, hey to everyone that joined.
Hi y'all.
That's one thing that I learned too. Like, your relationship is something like I ain't gonna say it gotta be a secret, but keep it private. I had to slip. Keep it private. It ain't gotta be everybody's business. What y'all do, what like y'all every move, that ain't gotta be everybody's business. Like everything ain't meant for social media. honestly, I feel like people put stuff on social media, like their relationships and stuff up on social media, because they want you to think that there's something that's more than what it is. Like people put on those personas, they like to put up like uh paint a picture of what it's really not. But like I don't feel like social media is not the place to first of all tell any of your business. But if you is, your relationships is definitely not one of the places to take it to. But I feel like, if you're going through something, go through that. That's between you, your partner, and God, whoever you believe in. If y'all need to bring somebody in, go seek a therapist, an unbiased party.
A licensed
party. Yeah, unbiased licensed party that's not gonna judge, that's gonna give you and the other person the best advice possible to help y'all work it out. But when you start telling everybody your business, and then everything just gets so misconstrued and out there. And then you never know who's preying on your downfall. You might be talking to somebody who you think your friend, and secretly they praying for you and your man to break up. So now you done came and told all your business to this person. Now this person done got leverage.
And you gave them the cheat code, and you just never know.
People operate like that sometimes. They really do. So, you just have to. I feel like your relationship should be private. Like you might see us, but you don't know what we got going on.
Yeah.
Definitely. You could speculate, but you don't know what's what.
Yeah. And I think it's a difference between venting and seeking guidance. Like Bree said, it's the difference, especially with relationships. Like your friends, I think your friends, your family, the people that you are close near, it's okay to vent. Like, you and your man just got into it. You just want to talk because it's not good to hold everything in. That's fine, I think. But seeking guidance, that's when you need to pray. That's when you need to go to a therapist. That's when you need to go to somebody, because everybody has, what they say, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has them, and most of them stink. And it's just like, everybody, you might ask your homegirl about what you should do about a situation, but your man might have, hypothetically, my man might have cheated on me. And I might ask Bree in a scenario, and Bree might have a history where all her ex-boyfriends that cheated. So she like, girl, break up with him, da. And it might not be the best thing right now. I'm not saying, because I feel like some people they could grow and they could be forgiven. But because of what her past and what she's dealt with, hypothetically in that scenario, she's telling me one thing, as opposed to if I told Jane, my other friend, about it, and she's never dealt with anything like that, but she's seen us really love each other, and she might be like, stick it out. So now you're confused or complex. So it's like, I think for guidance, that's when you need to go to therapist, you need to pray, or seek that. But for venting or release, I like release better than venting. I think to release, that's when you do need to go to your friends and have that safety net near you.
And I would say this, I would never tell anyone, oh my gosh, you just need to upright leave them. Like, what have you did to make the situation right? Because I'm not, and do not take this the wrong way. I'm not by no means condoning cheating. I'm not condoning like staying with someone after they've broken your trust and cheated on you or anything like that. But I am saying, like, relationships are a lot of work. No matter whether there's like friendships, like I said, work relationships, significant others, like if this is a love thing, like it's a lot of work. Whatever type of friend, whatever relationship it is, it's a lot of work. You have to put work into relationships. You can't just be like, oh, I got a relationship with her, like this is my friend. Like, even though we might be friends, like sometimes we're gonna have to put in work in our friendship. We ain't gonna always see eye to eye on everything. We're not gonna always agree with everything. But and when you're in these different type of relationships, you should be in healthy relationships where you can come to the person and be like, hey, what you said, I didn't appreciate. I don't like what you said. It made me feel this type of way. Or you might have done this and it made me feel completely thrown off. Like, dang, why would you do that? Like, as a friend, we're supposed to be able to come and talk to each other. In a relationship, you definitely supposed to be able to talk to each other. With your family, you're supposed to come and talk to like, hey, this is what you did. This is how it made me feel. Can we work on not not happening again? You know, a person who truly loves you and value who you are, value your time, and they see your worth and everything, they'll be like, okay, cool. I understand. I acknowledge that, what I did hurt you. Yeah. And I'm going to try to work on that. But a person who just be like, oh, well, it is what it is, that's a dangerous person.
Not a person you need in your life.
That's a dangerous person right there.
So how do you feel? So we kind of went over like the past and how our love, and it's crazy because that kind of shows, how our love evolves. So like presently, like
let's go back to the past and tell the story. So y'all, I told y'all about my very first boyfriend, right? He was a great guy. But my very first love, the very first person I fell in love with him when I was 7 years old. 7 years old, like, and it's so crazy. Like, I was just telling this story the other day at the bar, and like, so how we met is his stepmom is one of my mom's best friends, right?
Okay.
So his dad married one of my mom's best friends, and then like when I met him, like I said, we were young, we were 7, like, so we used to play like house and stuff. Oh. And like we was gonna get married. So one day we was like all playing like we was getting married. I was the mom, he was dad, my sisters, and I called them my cousins because it's my mom's best friend's children. So they are my cousins. So we was all in there, and like we walked down the aisle and exchanged rings and everything. And then this was the very first time he like kissed me, and my sister went and ran and told me, I was like, oh, DJ kiss Bree. And I was like, why would you tell
that? Do that.
So we got in trouble. We got in trouble for that by my mom's best friend. I call her my auntie. We got in trouble by her. She was like, y'all not supposed to be in here kissing. But ever since then, like, we was just like so in awe with each other, like so in love with each other. And like when we got old enough to have phones, like we was texting and calling each other. And like he was kind of, like how boys are in school. They like to act out so they get in trouble. And it's like, oh, he's a troublemaker. Like he's just been doing what boys do.
He's just a dumb boy at that point.
But he used to always promise me, he was like, once I graduate and get myself together and start my career, I'm gonna marry you. Da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, okay. So he graduated a year before I did. And he went off to the military. He went off to the Navy when he graduated.
Okay.
He was in basic training. We kept in contact while he was in basic training. And then like I think I kind of hurt his feelings while he was in basic, because then I started dating the guy I was with for 7 years. And so I told him, I was like, yeah, I kind of got a boyfriend now. Da, da, da. And he was so hurt by that. So once his basic was done, he came back. He came back to visit, and he showed up at my job, and he was like, yeah, I'm back. Da, da, da. And I was so excited to see him. So we hung out that night. We went to a basketball game and everything. And then after the basketball game, we was like sitting and talking, and he was like, I told you that once I got my life together, I was going to marry you. Da, da, da. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I still want to marry you. He's like, they're finna send me out to Guam, and I really want you to be my wife. Like, I'm so in love with you. Da, da, da. So we had a whole conversation. About it. But I knew I was in a relationship at this time. So I was like, dang, like, we have been talking about this since we were 7 years old, And I was like, I really do love you. Like, the idea of being your wife is not a bad idea. But I was 18.
No,
I was 18. No, I was 19. And I was like, I don't know, So he was like, well, I'm gonna let you think about it. I said, okay, well, what about this? Because I did a lot of times, like, I'm with, who I was with. And he was like, I know. He was like, but don't you love me? I was like, yeah. He was like, so y'all ain't been together that long. Da, 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 da. And I was like, you're right. So I was like, well, how about we get engaged, we stay engaged for a year, you come back from Guam, then we get married. And he's like, okay, that'll work. I don't want to go to Guam right now. Like I just started school. I want to finish school. Da, da, da. He's like, okay, I understand. So the next day, they was having a going away dinner for him. And when girl, like, it was crazy because like when he asked me to marry him, I was like, ain't no way you like what? What? No, we just talked about this last night. Like,
trying to, yeah.
So he said I broke his heart because I told him no when he asked me to marry him. But it was like I was still I wasn't ready.
Yeah, like that's
I wasn't ready. Like I wanted to marry him. I did. Like I've always seen myself marrying him. And it was like always my dreams to marry him, but I just wasn't ready at the time. And I was like, can you just wait? Like, can you go to Guam and come back and then we can just like so long story short, like we kept in contact with each other, but he didn't tell me that he went to Guam and got married.
See, I started to ask, so where is he at now?
He went so right now I can't speak because I don't talk to him, so I don't know what he doing right now.
But he went and got married. Wow, he wanted to get married. He wanted the marriage perks.
Let me tell you what happened. This is what he told me what happened. He went to Guam. He met this beautiful, lovely young lady, and they ended up getting pregnant. She ended up getting pregnant, so he married her so that they could live together. Because in the military, if you're not married, you can't really live together. Base and stuff. So, and then they ended up having another kid together. So like, and I think she already had a few of her own. So I think like all together they got 5 kids. Yeah. So
that's a 360 for his life, I bet.
So I don't know if they're still married or not. I don't know. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him anymore. But I still consider him a good friend. He's my first love. So
that's sweet. When we blow up and then like all these people start rewatching the podcast, and if you're watching this, I hope you have a good life. But yeah, you're pretty first love. You know how they be like, where was Beyonce? First, the guy that Beyonce would have prom with. They're like, I know he's like, God, I wish I would have never like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I bet he like, dang, I wish I would have never fumbled Bree. No, I fumbled. I fumbled first. I should have.
But all things is for a reason. It just might have not been that. Because imagine if you were turned into a military wife, your life would be completely different.
Yeah, I would have never met you. I probably would have never been here.
Yeah, you would have never been here. Yeah.
But I would have got to travel and see different places and stuff. But he's not even in the military anymore, so he's out. He's like a truck driver now. I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know.
The military man, listen, I had my own military man, and he, like, I wouldn't say he was my first love, but man, him, like, he scarred me from military life forever. And he was really sweet. We met in high school, and we were always like, you know how when you have a big group of like guys and girls, everybody like they mesh together, and you might have 2 couples, but everybody else are single. But then like when it's like dancing or a club, it's all you always connect to your person.
Yeah.
And so he was like my person I connected to, whatever like that. But we never went out. We were always chilling, and it was like his birthday. So this is like our senior year in high school, whatever like that, and so he had a girlfriend, he had a baby mama. I didn't know this, right? So, but the baby mama was living like in New Berry, which is like an hour and a half away from Greenville. Yeah. But he was staying with the girlfriend's mom. It was weird. Like they were together, and like it was weird. So, because he had some issues with his family, and it was his birthday. I remember this like crazy. It was his birthday, and I was invited or whatever like that, and we went over there. And we're having a good time, and then the girl comes home because it's his birthday, and we're like looking like, who is this girl? And because she's all up over him and stuff like that, and he's like, this is my girlfriend. Now everybody's looking like, what? But no one says nothing. So my friend at the time, she's a little intoxicated, so she yells, No. This happened. So before, another girl was at the party that he was talking to too. I guess the girl had touched, like the girlfriend seen him with the other girl and went off. So they were like, she was like fighting him. So I was like, ooh, I ain't saying nothing. Like you.
Right.
So my friend was like, when we were about to leave, she was like, Sakia, did you know he had a girlfriend? Like loud. Cause she's lit. I'm like, girl, if you can get in this call, I'm not about to be. She ain't about to try to fight me too.
Right.
So I was like, we left. So we stopped communicating. He ended up marrying that girl. And when he went to the army, he went to the army, and they had a kid. They got divorced. Then when they got divorced, I was in college, so we started talking again. And he's like, I really, really want us to like get together to this. Then when he was in like, I think it was like when like Idaho, he was somewhere in basic, like Wisconsin, around over there. And they got divorced. He's like, I really want us to work out. We started talking for a while. He ended up getting another girl pregnant, got married to that girl, had a baby. So now he's divorced from both. He's back. Wow. He's local here, and like we don't talk that much. I mean, I see him maybe like a year and a half ago when I first got back down, but that was it. And I'm just like, no.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that was my horror story for military.
And you know, I don't really have a horror story because like I knew him before he was in the military.
Yeah.
So it's not technically like a military man.
Y'all were childhood. Y'all were legally already married technically.
Yeah, we got married at 7. Like I was his first wife, and we never got divorced, so we still married. You know,
the kiss was the bonding contract.
Yes, that was the bonding contract. So either way it go, we never got divorced. We still married. I just let her borrow him. Oh, I did not say that. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Listen.
Just kidding. Oh,
we got to drink on that one.
But yeah.
What a story. We hope y'all have a beautiful life with y'all family.
That was in the past. Yes. That was in the past. Presently. Let's go to the present.
Yeah. Presently, for love for me presently is I don't know. And I'm gonna let you start it off.
Oh, why me?
Think about it? Because I need to think about it right now.
So what's like what are we talking about? Like where do we
I guess your concept of love or how you feel about love and
I see the tip now.
Yeah, you seeing it, I'm about to push it back. Like, I guess the concept of it, what does it look like now as opposed to in the past for you?
For me, right now, love looks like more of me loving on me.
Okay.
You know, in the past, it's like I want to love on everybody. I want to make sure everybody, you know, loves me, you know. So I wanna show that love. I wanna pour out the love that I have in my heart to everyone else to show, so I can show like how much I love them. But I realize, you know, pouring out so much love and not getting a lot of love poured back into you in return can be a lot. It can be real draining. So I had to learn how to like love on me a little bit more. So right now in the present, I'm really loving on me.
I love it.
Like I'm really loving on me. Like what's that song? I had to learn how to love myself. What's it? I've been loving on me.
Girl, you know I don't know.
I can't remember, but
it sounds like a good song though.
It is, and like you gotta listen, you gotta really listen to the song. Actually, let me look it up and I'm gonna tell you the name of the song, but
figure it out.
You really gotta look up the lyrics to it because it's like it's true. Like I had to learn how to love myself, and now that I'm in love with Bree, like I don't care, and can't nobody taint this, you know. And it took a lot to get here because, you know, in the past we deal with different things, and everything that you deal with, it affects you. Even if you don't see it like right off the bat, it affects you in some type of way. So like the 7-year relationship I was in, it affected me in a negative way because, you know, it wasn't the best relationship. It wasn't all bad, but it was not all good either. Yeah. And because it wasn't all good, sometimes the bad sticks closer than the good does because, you know, you remember the times when you're called ugly, or remember the times when you're called fat, or, you know, just those words that put you down and make you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And like, even if you know it's not true, if you hear something so much, you start to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you hear, oh, you're not small enough, or oh, you getting fat, or oh, you're not pretty enough, or if your hair isn't this way, you don't look pretty. Like, you hear that a long enough time, you actually start to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, for the longest, I would hear, oh, you getting bigger, you just gaining weight. Like, I've always, people who know me, like from back in the day, know that I've always been a small. I've always been the smallest out of all my mom's kids. And like, now I'm a little heavier, a lot of heavier than what I've ever been in my life. But I like it, like, I was a skinny little pole, a skinny little stick with legs. That's it. That's all I had was legs. That's it, and that's all. But now, as I became an adult, I'm starting to fill out,
Yeah.
And I appreciate that I came into my adult body. Am I as small as I used to be? No, I'll probably never be back to 100 pounds. The most I waited, like, until I got it. I think I didn't start gaining my weight for real until I turned like 24.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but before, up until 24, like, I was like 115, 120 at the most. I'm double that now. Like, but
good
it looks good. Like I said, thank you. It looks good. It's not something that, oh my gosh, I'm just so overweight, I'm so unhappy. No, like, I like the way I look.
Mm-hmm.
I like the weight I put on. And like, for years I didn't want to put on weight because I was always criticized about gaining weight or this. But yeah, I can't be a child forever. When you're a child, you have a child body. When you're an adult, you have an adult body. I've grown into my adult body. And I'm okay with that. But it's like, sometimes we allow people to alter how we feel about ourselves, and nobody should be able to come in and alter how we feel about ourselves.
That's true.
And so, like, I feel like you have to have that real self-love in order to love someone else. Because how can you love someone else if you can't love yourself?
That's true. I love that. I definitely think so. And I definitely think the perception, like, you have to be strong enough to know that what someone, what they say, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words but never hurt me. But they do. They do. But you have to be strong enough to let that bounce off and let that know, no matter what you might think of me is what I think of me. And no matter, like, for me, like, I have gotten so much better, but I still deal with certain things. Like, yeah, I could be chilling, like, out. I just say out in like a bar. I wouldn't even say a club, out at a bar or something like that. And we were my friends and we're having a good time and laughing. And I might see a group of people, guys or girls, to the right of me, and they might like look our way and laugh. And they might not be, it might be a game of a comedy show behind me, or a game or something like that. And I used to be like, I was like, oh my God, are they laughing at me? Are they looking at me? And I've gotten over that, but I still have it to where it's a work in progress. So I might be like, but then I'm like, yeah, girl, they ain't think about you. And if they were, it don't matter. So I think the more you continue to tell yourself, I think we talk about words of affirmation. We talk about like writing them down, saying the things, repeating things, and words of affirmation, repetition is key, all those things. But if you keep saying it, you'll believe it. If you keep doing it, it'll come a habit. But also negative things stick to you also. So it's just right now finding your love and loving yourself. So I agree with you right now. My concept of love is self-love, number one, and loving myself and loving who I am and whose I am.
Right.
I got that from her. And I think the other one is just giving love equal, like giving love back and continuing to love. I think my heart, one thing about me, and I'm not trying to like be but braggadocious or anything, but like I love my heart. And that's one thing. Like I have issues, like I tend to lie. And it be about stupid stuff. I'll just lie.
And
I do. Like my mom might be like, what time are you getting here? Knowing I'm not getting here for 2:30 and I'm gonna say 2:00. Or it might be like, it's just a hat. I don't know. I might be like, well, did I? Because it's been some things I done said. And I'll be like, hold up, wait, let me not tell a lie because I don't know. And I'm working on it. But I know as far as like the purity of my heart and like how I feel when it comes to relationships, friendship, like my love, I love to give love. So I think for me, other than self-love, it's just continue to pour out love. But it's like when that love is dried up or you do me wrong, I'm like, it's hard. I don't want to continue to like be scorned by somebody I gave love to and not be capable of giving the next person the same love.
Right. And see, I'm the opposite. I have a problem with that. Like me and her was just talking earlier this week, and like I'm such a forgiving person. I don't forget, but I definitely forgive. I'm a forgiving person, and I don't forgive for everybody else. I forgive for me because if I'm the type of person who I'm always playing scenarios back in my head. I'm always analyzing things. Like my friends tell me all the time, I overthink too much. I'm an overthinker, but it's just because sometimes when you don't replay stuff, you miss something that's important. So I sit and I replay stuff because I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing nothing important. Whether it's something that is important, that's going to be like an important key to our friendship, relationship, whatever we have going on, or if it's something that you done had me effed up and I missed that, like I need to go back and replay it. And so like yeah, like I replay certain scenarios, certain situations back in my head over and over. And like me and her was talking because I'm not gonna tell the situation or whatever the case may be, but there's a friend that I had that we were really good friends, and then this friend said something, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, especially in the situation that it was said towards, because I was like, well, dang, like we could have talked about that and had a conversation about that. That shouldn't have been like said without me being in the room or without me being present, because I was a part of that situation too. Like that wasn't your story to tell. That was my story to tell. So said this particular person, I was like, oh my gosh, hi, because at the end of the day, like I'm not mad at you anymore, but I just know how to move when it comes to you. I'm not gonna be a bee to you. I'm not gonna be like evil or mean or anything. If I see you out in the streets, I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna talk to you. But I just know where we were before is not where we are now.
Yeah.
And that's how I know. And she was like, girl, you had me thinking this was arch enemy. And I done seen you give this person a hug. Now, I'm thinking that we every time we see this person, we need to fight on sight. And I was like,
TTG.
She's like, you that type of friend that be recanting and don't be telling people. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just like, for me, I've already dealt with the situation. I dealt with it. I came to terms with it. I done spoke my piece about it. It is what it is. I acknowledge the part that I played in it. I apologize for the part I played in it. And at the end of the day, it just is what it is. We ain't buddy tight like we used to be. But if I see you, I'm not gonna be rude and not speak and not hold conversation. It's just I know how to deal with you on the level to deal with you with. And that's just that.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. Because I definitely was like,
she was like,
I was like, girl, now you know, made me. The person's on the X list in the trash. Okay, but when she explained it to me, I was like, you right, whatever like that, and it's down there. I was just like, yeah. But I was like, girl, now.
She sure came for me. She's like, now you that type of friend that I don't like, because you be recanting. And now I'm sitting up here looking crazy, because and I'm like, girl, listen, I don't really fool with these people like this, but it's my job to be nice to people.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do this.
It's my job to be nice to people because that's how I make my money. So I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna get this money, but I already know, like, I remember what you did. I ain't forget. I ain't dumb. So you might have forgot, but I didn't forget. I don't hold grudges, but baby, I'm gonna tell you, when I tell you I forgive you, just know I have completely and utterly forgave you. I done let it go. I done prayed about it. I done, if I had to cry about it, I done cried about it. I done got over it. When I forgive you, but I ain't forgot. So don't try to play me again, because I'm in my head, I always gonna remember what you did the first time. That's one thing about me. I ain't gonna never forget. I forgive, but I don't forget. Ever.
That's true.
Ever.
But that's true. And people got to understand that. I think some people take advantage of love, like the love that you have for them. But sometimes love isn't enough. It's not.
It's not.
And I was a person, I always felt like love was always enough. Like, he might not treat you right. He might not do this. He might not whatever like that. Or this friend might not be doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I love them and I care about them. But sometimes it's not enough. It's not.
All the time it's not enough. I'm gonna say this. Like, I used to be that person I'd be like, oh, I love them. So just because we love each other, love conquers all. Love is supposed to conquer all, but love is just not enough. It's not enough. Like, I can love you till the wheels fall off. I ain't gonna say to death. I can love you to life. I can love you to life till the wheels fall off. But you gotta love me just as much as I love you. Just me loving you ain't gonna do it. You gotta love yourself first of all. That's the first and foremost. If you don't love yourself, don't even step to me. Don't even look at me, because I can't love you for you and for me. Like, I just can't. That's too much to put on any person. I can't, and I ain't doing that. So you gotta love yourself first. And for two, you gotta be willing to put in the work. And not just say, oh, I love you, but you got to really be willing to go into the ringer with me. Like, this is not just a little thing. Like, I'm speaking on relationships right now. This work. This is work. You can't just say, oh, I love you, and think just because you telling me you love me that it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
No, because guess what? Just like you told me you love me, the next person that's in my inbox saying the same thing.
Wow.
So, okay.
I go to church.
You love me, but what else? What else are you willing to do? Are you willing to go through the trenches with me? Are you willing to see me at my worst? See me and accept me and love me at my worst. That's the thing. Like, that song that what's her name? Queen Naija. Can you love me naked?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want to know if you can love me naked and not physically naked. Like, can you love me at my purest of pure moments? Can you love me through all my flaws and my imperfections? Can you do that? Because I'm not perfect. Despite what you see right now, I'm not perfect. I got my flaws. I'm an overthinker. I already know that. I go back and forth about a decision for the longest until I feel like I made the best decision about it. So can you love me through my what's that word? Indecisiveness. Can you love me through my indecisiveness? Can you love me past the pain that I've been through, or past the trauma that I've been through, and all that I've been through? Can you love me? Can you love me through all that? Sometimes I don't have the best attitude. Can you love me through my messed up attitudes? Like, I need a person who can love me not only when everything's good, but when things ain't good, when they're bad, I need you to love me too. How do you handle confrontation? And you know what? I have a friend, and I appreciate this friend because this friend has taught me a lot, And one time we were having a conversation, and I think I may have said something that I didn't realize I said. And this particular friend didn't like what I said. or something. I think I even said or did something, and the friend didn't like it. So when we had the conversation, it was like, okay, so this is what happened, and I appreciate your efforts behind it, and I understand what you were trying to do, but don't do that no more because this, that, and other. And I appreciate that. Come to me and put me in my place when I'm doing wrong, or not even doing wrong, or if it's something like, I probably realized because I'm like that overprotected type person. Like when I love you and I care about you, like I'm gonna be overprotected over you. So if some stuff come down, I'm gonna be like, I'll be the first to step in and say something. But if I'm overstepping, let me know.
Yeah, boundaries. But that's the purity of love. And kind of going on what you spoke about, like don't just say you love me in what. And that's so funny because I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. I got so stuck yesterday. So yesterday, I'm getting ready for work. It's about like 6:30 or whatever like that. I'm getting ready to go to work. And me and this guy, we have been off and on. And he's the older guy. This is the guy. This is the guy, what I'm talking about. So I'm like, this is the guy. And we have been off and on for a minute now. And he's the type, when he's going through things, he shuts down. Not just from me, from his friends, because me and his friend are really, we've grown close, me and his best friend. And he'll tell me, like, like, I'm trying to he won't even talk to me. Like, he just blocks everything out. And that's not healthy. But I've dealt with him for so much now, like, I kind of know, like, okay, he's going through, and all I can do until he's ready to grow into talking to people is just be there. But, sorry. Kind of hit in the face. But anyways, we were on the phone. So he had a funeral yesterday he went to. And back home, so he had a funeral. I know he's going through things, blah, blah. So I like sent him this long message, just like, I know you don't want to talk. I know you're hurting and I know you're ready to shut everybody off, but I'm here if you need me. So he calls me later on. He's like, I'm gonna come home, be home later tonight. I'm gonna come up to see you. Or whatever like that after the funeral. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, I really appreciate the text. He's like, I'm not ready to talk, but I appreciate you being there for me. I was like, cool. He's like, all right, bye, I love you. And I was like, bye, and I hung up the phone. But listen, I think he's a sweet guy. I think he cares about me, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And I think he's going through a lot of emotions. And he felt like, dang, like she really cares. And I'm not saying that his love you wasn't pure and it wasn't genuine. I just think we're not ready right now because we're still going through some shit. Like me and personally, but I'm the type where I could put the personal behind when you're going through something. Like me and you could have fell out, but if you going and you like, Z, I need you, I'm gonna just put that in behind and we'll pick back up right there. But I say that just to say this, like the love thing, like you said, like I care about him and I appreciate him telling me that, but you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing to make me feel like I need to say it and I want to say it back. So that's why I'm at present.
So do you think, because he could have been saying I love you as a friend, like
in which he could have been, and I'm like, maybe. But that's the first time he's ever said that. So that's why I'm just like so stuck. Because I will say, like, I don't know for a fact, but about a week ago we were on the phone, and like I'm like, I like, no matter if it's my friends, my family, like when I got the phone, my mom, my sisters, my friends, I'm like, bye, I love you, and they don't say it back and they hang up, I will call them back and be like, I said I love you. Like I genuinely will. Like, you just never know. So like a week ago we were on the phone and I was like, all right, I'll talk to you later, baby. And he's like, all right, babe. And then he's like, all right, bye. I feel like he never, but I sense he wanted to, but he didn't. And so he said it. I'm like, hopefully he sent it as a friend because it's like I care about the man and I do, but right now, like we have to get, you need to be doing other things. Like I don't want to worry about the love, I want to worry about the friendship. So maybe he was talking to me as a friend.
Could have been talking to you as a friend.
If he watches this, because he usually watches all our podcasts later date, let me know.
I feel like, because I'm that friend, and I'm always, right before I get off the phone, like, okay, I love you. Like, I tell everybody that I love you, because you never know. Tomorrow's not promised. But, I do get where you're coming from, too, because, like, I'm not just saying I love you to any man,
Yeah.
I'm not just doing that. Like, it really has to mean that and come from the bottom of my heart. If I tell you I love you, like, there's a real spot in my heart that's real soft for you, and I really do love you. And like, don't take that for granted. But I'm not just gonna tell like
anybody,
like not on that level. Now, like my friends, I like you said, I am like, okay, I love you, bye. Like, love y'all, see y'all later. Like, even like last night I was leaving Red, because I was out there last night. And when I got ready to walk out the building, I was like, okay, y'all, bye, I love y'all. And the security guard was like, oh, you must be drunk. You telling us you love us. And I was like, no, I always tell my workers I love them. Like, every time I walk out the door, I'd be like, okay, bye, y'all. Love y'all. Like, y'all just knew. Y'all don't know that. Like, but this is the thing. Like,
you used to this. You knew this.
Right. And so, no, like, it was just like, I feel like that is important. Like, to give your flowers to people while you can, because you never know. Like, tomorrow's not promised to us. The next minute not promised to us. Like, the next month's not promised us. So while I have the chance, I'm gonna give my flowers. Like, I love you. I'm gonna tell you I love you. Like, I try not to hold grudges, try not to live in anger, because all of that just shortens your time. Like, and then while you angry and holding grudges at everybody else, they moving on as if their life ain't
they worried about
them. So
I definitely agree, and that's the thing. And it's because it is funny, because I was talking to the security guard last night when I was leaving, and we were talking about like attitudes, and he was just like, "You just been quiet tonight," and we were really, really busy. And I was like, "But he's like, you're happy now." I was like, "Yeah, I'm happy because everybody gone." But I was like, I don't take the job, no matter if it's my full-time job, my part-time job. I don't take it home with me. I let it go. He's like, he's like, no, like if someone like a drunk person or someone pisses me off, like I'm pissed off for the rest of the night. And I was like, you gotta let that go. Like, it's not worth it or whatever. So I guess the last part of this would be, because we're coming up on our hour, for future, like what do you look at as far as love in your future, or the concept of that you want love? For me, it's a kid and it's a family. But I'm not saying I feel like I gotta have that to be loved, but I'm at that point where like I love my family, but I'm the baby. So like all my siblings, they have their own kids, they have their own family, they have their own thing. But we still do, I'm very family oriented. But like I'm ready to have, not yet, like future, like a couple years, like future. But I'm ready to like get to finding my person. And I feel like right now, as far as friends, I'm in a good position where I have had so many new people come into my life that I genuinely love and that genuinely shows me love. So as far as friendships, I am in an abundance of love season. So I feel like the next would be finding that relationship and that love, and having and showing our love by producing a kid.
Well, everybody know I want kids.
Yes.
So, but I'm probably gonna get 2 or 4, but I want 6. But for me, it's like I just want somebody that gets me. I don't want to necessarily say love me, because once you get to know me, that love is going to come anyway, because of who, and this is not me being boastful or anything. This is just me being confident in who I am and stating the facts. Like, I've never met a soul who did not fall in love with me. Like,
I love that.
I just haven't. Like, and it's because I have such a welcoming spirit. My heart is so pure that like everybody that I come in contact with, they just love them some Brittany. And I love that. I love that. So I just want to find some, well, I ain't even gonna say find, like I just want the right people in my life that is for me and not against me. And I do want a family. I want a family. I want a kid. I want a husband. I want not just the husband though. I want my husband to be my best friend, my partner, my prayer partner, my if I need a shoulder to cry on, I can come to you and cry and you can be there for me, like my supporter, my motivator, like all of that. Cause I'm gonna be all of that for you. And once that person is in my life, I know the love is gonna follow.
I love that. Yeah. Well, good. I think this was a good episode.
This was a good episode. We didn't have a lot of people that kind of just tuned in with us today, but I get it because we kind of been all over the place. But
we will come through this week with an announcement once we kind of figure out our schedules as far as trying to get a set time again and get consistency. But regardless or not, we love you guys and we appreciate so much the support. And we're gonna continue to do what we need to do to continue to want you guys to support us. And tell a friend that Girls Talk Let's Talk season 2. We're back, we're better. We're about to start having more guests once we get everything figured out, because I know y'all are missing that. Some more conversations, and let us know what you guys want to hear also.
And that song that I was talking about is called Self Love by Jason Lyric. Y'all need to go listen to that. Future and Nevia. Yeah, I gotta go listen to that. That's a good song.
Get you one of those.
And should I close it out with a
we haven't did an affirmation.
Affirmation. Yes. So let's close it out with an affirmation, y'all, because we didn't do one. We closed it out with a prayer last week, which was amazing. So this week we're gonna close out with an affirmation.
Well needed that prayer.
And affirmation that I want to close out with, it says, I am attracting unlimited abundance into my life. I am embracing my power of creation and transformation and transforming what I have into more. I am grateful and excited about the blessings on the way to me. I expect beautiful miracles to manifest very soon.
I love that. Love you guys.
Love y'all. Hold on. How you did a little heart? Okay, my heart looks crazy bad.
My nails are like
synchronized. Love y'all.